What a wonderful way to start quarterfinals day here in Odense at the Yonex Denmark Open. Up next is mixed doubles, then we'll turn our attention to men's singles once again, then women's singles, and then we'll finish off with men's doubles. So the next match, as you can see, is mixed doubles. The number 8 seeds from China, Lu Kai and Huang Yaqiong, up against the number 2 seeds, Tontowi, Ahmad and Liliyana Natsir. Well, as far as the destination Dubai rankings are concerned, 6 previous Super Series tournaments prior to Denmark for the World and Olympic champions, Zhang Nan and Zhao Yunlei, and they had been in 6 finals, winning 4 of them, including the last event, the Korean Super Series. Of course, the number 2 pair on that list is the pair we're about to see, and they were beaten in the final in Seoul at the Korean Open. Well, here is the draw so far, and 2 pairs already through, because we can see that Liu Cheng and Bao Sin, the World Championships silver medalists, have put out Mr. and Mrs. Adcock in 2 straight games. And the 3-time former champions, Fischer Nielsen and Christina Pedersen, are through their match as well.
And now on court number 1, mixed doubles. Please welcome the world number 8 and runner-up at the OUE Singapore Open. From China, Lu Kai and Huang Yaqiong.
So the announcement welcoming Lu Kai and Huang Yaqiong, and the announcer making reference to the fact they reached the final of the Singapore Super Series event early this year. They didn't contest the final. They gave a walkover to their teammates, Zhang Nan and Zhao Yunlei.
Tontowi, Ahmad and Liliyana Natsir.
The number 2 seeds, the world number 2s, the former world champions, Tontowi, Ahmad and Liliyana Natsir. They've been in the final of the Yonex Denmark Open for the last 3 years, but they're still looking for their first ever title. So near and yet so far. Well, if you were with us yesterday, you will have enjoyed watching Lu Kai in the men's doubles playing with Liu Cheng. They came through the qualifying of the men's doubles, and they beat the reigning world champions Mohammad Hassan and Hendra Setiawan. And today in the quarterfinal they'll play against the European champions Ivanov and Sozunov of Russia. So it'll be a busy day for Lu Kai. There he is, 23-year-old, turned 23 12 days ago from Nanning, known as the Green City. He and his partner, Huang Yaqiong, she's 21 years of age. Number 8 in the world ranking at the moment. They've gone down 1 place in the Super Series standings, down to number 7 from 6, quarterfinalists in Korea. And their win-loss record for the year, 2 finals, winning one of them, the Swiss Grand Prix Gold, and that Singapore Super Series I was telling you about, where they gave a walkover in the final to world and Olympic champions Jiang Nan and Zhao Yunlei. Well, as far as their matches so far, in yesterday's second-round match against Keigo Tsunoda and Naoko Fukuman of Japan, dropped the second game, as you can see. Match just shy of the hour mark. Last year, reached the last 16, so they've done better than a year ago. Chinese combination.
The technical officials.
And for Tontowi, Ahmad, 28 years of age. And Liliyana Natsir, now 30, from Manado, right in the north of North Sulawesi. Number 2 in the world rankings, that equals their highest ever. And they've gone up 1 place, as you briefly saw, in the Super Series standings to number 2, having been beaten in the final of the Korean event. Well, yesterday they had a real battle, as their opponents did, so both of them going the full distance yesterday in their matches. Danik Krishnanta and Vanessa Neo of Singapore, they dropped the opening game, as you can see, and then came back in 2 very good games, 1 minute shy of the hour mark, their second round match. Well, if you're a Chinese fan, that's a little ominous, isn't it? This is the 6th meeting, and Lu Kai and Huang Yaqiong are yet to record a victory. But the last time they met in the Korean Super Series, where obviously the Indonesians went on through to the final, it was 3 games. In fact, not only the last time they met was 3 games, the first time they met was 3 games as well. Henrik Boas and Alan Potter are court officials for this one. Well, the Indonesians winning their world title 2 years ago in Guangzhou. What a match that was. One of the best finals I've ever seen. And they beat the number 1 seeds, Chuchen and Ma Jin. Saved 2 match points in the third and deciding game.
Yaqiong, China. On my left, Tontowi Ahmad, Liliyana, Natsir, Indonesia. Huang Yaqiong to serve. Liliyana, Natsir. Love all. Play.
So this mixed doubles quarterfinal getting underway.
Service over.
And I should think the Indonesians, not only full of confidence, having been in the final in Seoul, but also with that head-to-head stat, won all 5 previous matches.
Fault receiver.
Oh, fault receiver. My goodness me, controversy.
Yeah, they're almost always wrong, those calls, if you see them in slow.
Well, he got called a couple of service faults yesterday as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
But I was impressed the way he just sort of shrugged it off and got on with the match.
And was able to conduct himself very well in the decisive rallies. Really challenging at the net.
Interesting little statistic about the mixed doubles here. Oh, yeah. Well, suddenly changed his mind, didn't he? I think he was going to leave it. Oh, look at that. That's a huge gap. Yeah, sorry, to get back to my interesting statistic here at the Denmark Open in the mixed doubles discipline, since it became a Super Series event, when the Super Series started in 2007, only China or Denmark has ever won the mixed doubles discipline here.
Service over.
That's a healthy smash.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
5.
We've seen some tall male players in the mixed doubles lately. This Luke high here.
Service forward goal.
Oh, that's quick.
Service over. 6-1.
Yeah, I agree. Above the waist.
Service over. 2-6. Yes, change.
First female player, Liliyana Natsir, to win 3 gold medals at World Championships. Of course, male player Park Ju-bong had achieved that. The first female player to achieve it, Liliyana Natsir. Oh, that's delightful.
Time's over.
But a very important thing to remember is that
7-3.
Park Ju-bong, he achieved this when there were only World Championships every second year.
Yeah. Which makes his achievements even more remarkable, not just in the mixed doubles. 5 world titles for Park Ju-bong. 2 men's doubles, 3 mixed doubles.
Over a span of how many years has Natsir won, Jill?
From 2005.
To now.
Well,
So
that's all her medals, but I
Yeah.
mean, from 2005 to 2013, there was 3 gold medals.
So she's been playing for quite a number of years, but of course she's had. The important thing is that she's had more opportunities.
Yeah.
Park Ju-bong had more opportunities, he, I suppose, would have won a couple of gold medals extra.
Well, in my humble opinion,
Over.
I think that's pretty much certain.
9,
I believe he
4.
would have won more gold medals if there had been a World Championship every year. He was outstanding. But we can't live on muts and what ifs and maybes and buts and this and that. And
Service over. 5-9.
well, Chen Long's just won his quarterfinal against Wei Nan in 3 games.
Serves over. 10-5. Serves over. 6-10.
Yeah, we saw in his men's doubles yesterday, we were very impressed with Lukai, weren't we?
Yeah.
His ability at the front of the court.
He definitely has a good read of the game, and it sort of opens the opportunity that the Chinese pair could actually play a little bit in opposite positions as opposed to what we normally see with Huang Yaqiong at the back.
Serves over. 11-6. Interval.
So a 5-point advantage for Ahmad and Natsir. Really game interval.
不错的啊，那亚军在左场区接发球，给他正手拿，你的
They're normally very difficult to beat when they're off to a good start, when Liliyana Natsir gets confidence. This Indonesian pair is so strong.
他位置看得好，
Court number 2, women's doubles.
亚军球往下拨的时候，
World number 21,
半场的时候你要赶压，啊，
quarterfinalists.
提前准备
Victor
快一点，
reopen.
亚军往下
From
拨的时候，
Korea,
他球起来。
Yaqiong and
Hot one, 20 seconds. Hot one, 20 seconds.
Also from Korea,
Well, the coach there, Liliyana Natsir's former partner, Liliyana, with whom she won the gold medal at those 2005 World Championships in Anaheim. And then they regained the world title 2 years later in Kuala Lumpur.
Serves over. 7-11.
To me, it's always an interesting dynamic to have a former partner coach you, because, of course, they'll know you extremely well, your strengths and your weaknesses and everything about you and how you think on court and how you react. But, you know, perhaps the player also knows what situations that, you know, you with your now coach have failed in or won in. So it must be a
12.
fascinating dynamic.
Yeah, and also for Tontowi Ahmad, having his predecessor as a coach.
Yeah.
I think you really have to get past that. I mean, in my opinion, the players, they don't really like to hear, I did like this.
No.
They just want to hear what you want them to do. So it's very important to get over that as a coach.
12.
And of course, even though they perhaps have some similarities in playing style, they're different players, they're different persons, they react differently.
Out.
Well left.
Yeah.
Serves over. 13-8.
Wow.
14-8.
That's not her. That's not her shot. Huang Yaqiong. Excellent shot by Ahmad.
15-8.
What an angle to get. He's moving in the opposite direction. He's moving towards left. Hitting it towards the right. Very, very difficult.
Serves over. 9,
What do you make of the
15.
fact that this lady has been playing women's doubles here in the Super Series events. Normally, we're used to seeing her over the past year or so, really focusing on her mixed doubles. And of course, here in Odense, she was playing women's doubles with Tang Junhua.
Yeah.
And lost in the very first round to the Danes, Christian Peterson and Camilla Ruta-Jorg.
But held a match point.
Yeah. Good thing for her to be playing more than the mixed doubles. What's your feeling on that?
I think it can be good because when you're only playing the mixed, like for instance Liliyana and Natsir, you actually don't touch the shuttle a lot, and when you touch it, you have to be very, very precise, and it's often really fast-paced shots that you should sort of try to intercept. So in many ways, it can be nice for the female mixed players to also play women's doubles.
There is Nova Widianto.
Service over.
She's definitely trying to sort of get involved in the game, Huang Yaqiong. I guess we'll rate this as the fourth Chinese mixed double at the moment.
Yeah.
After Zhang Nan and Zhao Yunlei, Xu Chen Majin, Liu Cheng, Bao Yixin, then this pair here, and of course relatively new on the Super Series circuit, so trying to make a name for themselves and trying to sort of convince the Chinese team management that it's worth giving them some attention.
Oof. Oh, what a lovely idea.
17.
You can see that the Chinese have mixed up the coaching a little bit. I wasn't paying enough attention to see who actually did the talking in the interval, but I can see that Chen Bingyi is sitting at the coach's chair together with, I think it's Chen Chichi.
Well, another service return, fault calls, or moving, the receiver moving before the serve was struck, this time on Tontowi Ahmad.
What a smash from Lukai.
17.
Yeah.
Going back to your point about the coaches on the bench, I've just had a quick look down the arena here. There's no other Chinese players.
No, so there's no reason Zhang Jun is not there. So it might be that he's concentrating, he's focusing on the three top pairs, the established top pairings.
Yeah.
And this is sort of a grooming pair, grooming talent that is under the wings of Chen Bingyi.
China.
Or actually Chen Chichu, but and then Chen Bingyi, here we see them, Chen Bingyi with the cap on. He's the overall responsible for the doubles department. I have a feeling that that's the case. You know that Zhong Bo is the singles department chairman, with the coaches Chen Jin and Xia Xuanze.
Oh, look at that. It's right onto the line.
19-14.
That's what's so fascinating about the mixed doubles, that it's perhaps the most tactical discipline there is.
Yeah. Most tactically complex.
15-19. Yes.
Yeah, because you have to try and use the strengths of both players, and quite obviously men are physically stronger than the women, and so you want them at the back of the court using their power. And most of the time, naturally, women tend to be more agile than the men, and therefore you want them at the front where they can twist and turn quickly. And yeah, I always found it a fascinating discipline to play.
Yeah, and you want to exploit the
Service over.
differences in physical strength, and you want to
game
protect
point.
the differences as well.
Yeah.
So that's why there's so many soft shots, angles in the game in between offense and defense, and that's what makes it interesting.
Game point opportunities, 5 of them.
Oh,
My goodness. What a net exchange by the two female players. That was wonderful. 21-15, opening game.
Tontowi, Ahmad, Liliyana, Natsir, 21-15.
Look at that. She's so calm, isn't she,
Yeah.
Liliyana Natsir? Look, by all right, she should have
我们
panicked
吃
with
亏就
that
吃
one,
亏了，
but
一个我们
calmly
自己的
just
发球质
dealt
量
with
没
it.
有保证，另外一个就是前面开局的5分啊接发球。
17 minutes in the opening game, 21-15.
"挑起来的自信一点，挑起来挑人到位了，不怕他的，先拉2拍没事儿，啊，拉2拍再反击。
Chen Chi-Chu, he was
现
a
在除
left-hander,
了发
wasn't
球
He was a
接发球
left-hander,
那
yeah.
个无为的输，然后就挑球还是
Had some problems with his arm and shoulder.
他攻不死你
Was
的，
quite
啊，你防
a
大一点没事儿啊。哎，有些球宁愿去抢，
mixed
不要
player,
不要放
better in the mixed than the
啊
men's
球
double.
啊，防守的球啊。
Played a lot with Yaqiong, beaten finalists at the All England Championships in 2003 and bronze medalist at the World Championships in Birmingham in
banyak sering ngadu depan sama
2003.
kamu. Ininya lumayan nih
There
sebelah
was
sininya nih.
always a
Terus
pair to
depannya.
me that were
Ya,
real
kalau nggak
threats,
lewat
but always seemed to go under the radar as far as people
Backhandnya.
talking about them.
Ya kalau lakinya, kalau kasih gewe kan dia neken pasti. Neken dia mundur. Lakinya, kamu turunin aja. Kalau nggak geser ke kanan nih, nggak terlalu bagus kanan nih. Tapi kalau sininya neken dia. Ya, pohon belakang siap. Wi, nembaknya dari situ, Wi. Cewek sini sering banting tuh. Kalau enak pakai sininya nggak terlalu bagus. Ya, kalau nembak kanan siap dibanting pokoknya. Ya, pokoknya belakangnya main, Wi. Harus yakin kamu enak gitu. Dan kepancing depannya ya. Kalau kamu depan jangan buru-buru. Kamu lebih enak itu. Kamu mainin itu lebih orang nggak enak malahan. Kalau kamu nyodok-nyodok, orang nggak takut. Ya, kamu berapa kali kamu main di situ nggak enak terus mereka yakin sama.
Well, starting this second game where they left off in the first.
Excellent.
It must be something with the contrasting styles between these two pairs that, because, I mean, I rate Lukai. We were singing his praises yesterday. He's won a Super Series title in the mixed double, in the men's doubles discipline with Kai Yun, the Singapore Open last year.
Yeah.
You know, he's a class player.
Yeah.
But it's almost as if they don't believe, or maybe the Indonesians are just so full of confidence, having won all 5 previous matches. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I think perhaps they're a little bit more aware of their style, what it is they're good at. And for the Chinese, of course, there's no doubt that they're really, really strong in the offense and not so strong below the tape. Very few players and pairs are strong below the tape. So the thing is how to get the attack and to keep the attack. And we've just seen 2 rallies where the Indonesians have not been afraid to smash a number of times, but the Chinese have not had a chance to turn it around. So they sort of feel like they perhaps can survive in the defense, but they're only saving 3, 4, 5 shots. And it doesn't really matter because they lose the point anyway.
Yeah.
So in that situation, I think they need to try something more on the first or the second defensive shot, because otherwise they'll just die a slow death. And that's where Liliyana Natsir comes in, because she's really, really good at making the right choices at the net and challenging, as we saw the last rally of the first game.
5.
Well,
This is a terrible shot from Lukai. We know he's strong in attack, but this was a situation where he could have maintained the control of the rally, probably being able to kill it at a later stage. Instead, it's a direct
Test, please.
mistake.
I think
But his string broke, so that's perhaps the answer to it.
5.
So
Love.
you could say that you need a lot of experience to play the mixed doubles.
oh, well taken.
it's
Well
good rally.
played from Huang Yaqiong.
1-5.
And we know from all the other times that we've seen Natsir and Ahmad that Ahmad also very, very strong in the attack, but more human below the tape. But it's not easy to get it below the tape because they're so good in the service situation.
Service over.
Well, the luck of the net cord on the return of serve.
2-6.
That's
Excellent.
nice. Yeah.
4-6.
Great skills.
Oh! 5-6.
Yeah, this is a good comeback, isn't it? 5-love down at the start of his second game. Now just 1 point in it.
Out.
Oh, service short.
Service over. 7-5.
That's a clever shot.
That's long.
Oh, great control in that rally from Liliyana Natsir. You may well be right, it may have been going long, but if your opponent thinks it's so close, he's got to play it. You've got to applaud it.
Excellent play by the Indonesians, keeping Lukai on the move before he's able to attack. And there's a huge difference for tall players on the sort of quality of the attack, whether it's a more standing attack where they don't have to move before they hit the shuttle, and a moving attack. We've seen it numerous times with the Dane Mads Peter Colling in the men's doubles, and also Camilla Richard-Yule in the ladies double, when she's moving, the attack is a little bit more human.
This is a good rally.
Service over.
And she's not afraid to challenge at the net, Huang Yaqiong.
6-8. Liliyana.
Yeah, well spotted umpire. Indonesians in the wrong formation.
Service over.
How does she... I find it amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, she must have such
9-6.
spatial awareness.
Yeah.
That shuttle had gone past her. She's got the racket head control, she's got her back to the net, and she plays a perfect shot.
She knows exactly how much
Yeah.
to give it and where to aim and so on.
Yeah.
And she's so calm and collected, a little bit like we see Hendra Sechawan in the men's doubles as well.
Service over.
And that's a crucial skill to be
7,
able to
9.
be calm in these fast exchanges.
Yeah. A trait I don't think anybody could accuse me of having. I would have loved to have looked calm on court. Yeah. Sadly, it wasn't in my nature. Well, all the attack from Ahmad's,
China.
and it was all very much the same pace. It was going through my mind as he was thundering down those smashes on Huang Yaqiong. Vary it, vary the pace, vary the angle.
Yeah.
But all credit to Huang Yaqiong because her defence was absolutely solid. Well, there's just 1 point in it.
8, 9. Liliyana. Play. Out. Service over. 10, 8.
It's having some trouble, Lukai. It's the second service fault we've seen. Service error, because it's not a fault, service error.
Well, I think ever since he was called that service fault,
Yeah.
he knows from yesterday as well, and I think he's really trying to serve lower than he normally does.
yeah.
And doing so, he really hasn't got rhythm on it.
That's a big mistake. Seen from not from a law perspective, but from a performance perspective, it's a big mistake.
Look at that. Oh, he's a tall, tall man. I have him
9,
down at
10.
191, which is
Yeah.
about 6'3". I wouldn't be surprised if he's even taller than that. I think I got that stat when he was about 18 years old. He might have grown a bit.
Indonesia. Play.
Oh, should have put that away, shouldn't he? Oh, that's a nice backhand. Oh my goodness, how does she do it?
Oh, that's a great shot. What an awareness to be able to play that shot.
11-9 interval.
Oh, what was that? I mean, the racket head. Just watch the racket head as he comes through here.
Kig på storskærm. Badminton
She's
Danmark
expecting a push, and it's
Yeah,
more like, I don't know what that shot is called, a drive or something like that.
yeah.
Hashtag med BadBK.
So 2-point advantage for the number 2 seeds here in the second game.
后两个球还是要控一控，所以抢半场啊！你不要重伤一摆你，你就只能拉了，没有办法啊！拿到主动，你抢到主动，他也上不来。
Would you be advising anything sort of, any drastic sort of changes from the Chinese pair if you were able to talk to them?
Dia servis dari atas banget tuh. Ya, jangan terlalu buru-buru.
I think I would advise them to flick a little bit more
Jangan pengen maksain begitu karena dari atas banget.
create some room for the short services.
Yeah.
I think we've seen on a number of occasions that
ya, enak baru kencang lagi. Ya, agak ke atas sekali-sekali. Jaganya bawah terus tuh. Abak tebak sekali-sekali tebak ke atas tapi kamu siap bawah. Ya. Ya makanya jangan paksa kencang dia udah siap. Ya ngatur aja. Ya, konsentrasi terus bukaannya ya.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt Noah Widianto here.
Yeah, no, not at all. I'm interested.
I think we've seen that one of the keys to opening up the Indonesians is if you have a female player who can sort of challenge and be better than Liliyana Natsir, but you can see that service return, that's just excellent. And they have no advantage in serving short because the Indonesians take the initiative in the rally, so why not flick and get her away, Liliyana Natsir, why not get her away from the front court where she's so brilliant?
Yeah.
And then try to win it from the back court, and if you can do that, well, congratulations.
Service over.
Yeah, if you're going to play half
11,
court,
12.
you've got to make sure that he's not able to step in on it. Look at that,
Yeah.
Lukai.
And then perhaps also if
Ahmad.
I have to play flat or lift, I would make sure to use the back court so that Tontowi Ahmad has a big area to cover.
Yeah.
12-0.
Yeah.
Over.
That's the change of pace that I was advocating earlier on.
13-12.
Yeah, very efficient.
2.
Great control. The shuttle hits the net and it's totally deflected, but
13-0.
still she managed to control it. Well played.
Yeah.
14-13.
Tries to get away with it, Ahmad. He might have, but not against Huang Yaqiong.
This is the first time in either game that the Chinese pair have been in the lead.
And we've seen twice here now when
13.
Ahmad is forced to play soft shots from below the tape.
Yep.
And there's a good chance for the opponents.
Play.
that's a lucky point.
16-13.
But 4 straight points, and all of a sudden I sort of have a different feeling about this match.
Yeah.
I mean, in the 5-love up in the second game, the Indonesians, there's me saying there must be something in the styles, and, you know, it's all looking so easy for the Indonesians. Far from it.
Yeah.
16-13.
So it's actually 16-8 in the last 24 points since they were down 5-love.
Yeah.
Lukai and Huang Yaqiong.
Out.
Another service
Service
error.
over. 14-16. China change.
What do you make that? 3?
3 in this game. But yeah, he served 2 or 3 really excellent short services that sort of prevented the Indonesians from getting the initiative.
Service over. 17-14.
This is extraordinary, isn't
Yeah.
it? Does it remind you of a certain mixed doubles last night? If you were with us last night, you will have enjoyed mixed doubles involving Jochen Fischer-Nielsen and
15-17.
Christina Pedersen. Seem to be cruising against Kazuno and Kurahara. Oh, it's gone wide.
Service over. 18-15.
I have a feeling the Chinese pair has more or less closed down the front court. There's not so much space left for the Indonesians to target. Great smash.
16-18.
Very different audience we have here in Odense today. I mean, there's no Danes playing in the hall right now, and if we were in at least certain countries in Asia, the audience would find someone to back in their matches. But here it's more like a waiting game until Danish players come on court, and that makes it a little bit awkward.
Yeah, they don't. You're right. They don't know who to support.
No.
Whereas the Indonesian fans, for instance,
Malaysian.
Yeah.
There's a more joyful experience for the spectators there.
Yeah.
Service over. 18-19.
Yeah, well, she was totally controlling the net in the opening game, and a part of this second game, certainly controlling the game in that rally. Liliyana and Natsir, well, that is crucial in mixed doubles. Control of the front of the court.
Yeah, that's a good call.
So,
Serves over.
2 game point
20
opportunities
game
for
point,
Liu Kai and Huang Yaqiong to win this second game. That's a great judgment, isn't it?
Once again.
Yeah, he's too loose on those. And Huang Yaqiong
Second game won by Liu Kai, Huang Yaqiong.
is certainly very sharp now,
21-18. 1 game all.
hunting the shuttle at the net. And it is indeed, as the umpire has just confirmed, 1 game all. 43 minutes into the match. 21-18 at second game, in favour of the number 8 seeds from China.
Ya, mainnya silang-silangnya berani. Ya, dari kotak sini sering tuh ditungguin kamu. Sekali berani silang sini. Kamu agak lebih mepet ya, biar dekat kamu berani ngadu depan, tapi kamu agak mepet, ya. Kalau kamu mau mepet, Butet nekat nggak apa, kamu tetekin depannya. Tapi kamu harus mepet, kalau Butet maju, udah kamu mepet aja. Ini soalnya lumayan, moles ceweknya. Ya, kalau dari kotak sini, lakinya ngaper tuh, defense-nya ngaper sini, sekali-sekali tembak situ aja nggak apa. Tapi kalau dari kotak sebelah sana ceweknya, lu tembak tengah nggak apa-apa, mati banyak kan dia. Dari kotak sini cowoknya ngaper tuh. Ya, sama pembukaannya aja deh, pembukaannya jangan buru-buru. Pas cowoknya servis, kamu sering kena itunya tuh. Kalau nggak sekali kencengin sekali ke body. Ya, yakin ya, belum anu ya, jangan panik ya. Terus yakin aja, ya. Hetet ya, kamu mepet, Butet ngadu depannya, harus jadu, ya. Hetet ya, ayo, yakin.
现在接发球相持住了啊！
往这底下直接想发球的话，都有机会，是吧？接发球了就是那个谁啊，伊利亚发球了，我们可以抢放，然后完了再发他一波。然后那个阿曼德发球的时候，他抢往那抢，就可以推压或者推压多一点。
哎，现在出来以后，机会出来以后一拍，有半小孩就死了。机会出来一拍以后，高水平的还是可以跟你相持的。啊，记得多连贯。
Second game，
你不要太靠中间，太靠中间。
Love
你不是短球也是错局啊，大哥，你往这边来的就，是吧？好吧。
非常好，你这。
So here we are, third and deciding game. Oh, that's beautiful from Liliyana and
serves
Natsir.
over. 1 love.
Well, I know we've only had 2 rallies and we can't jump to conclusions because of those 2 rallies, but I think Nova Widianto has said to his players, the Indonesians, come on, you've got to get back on the attack again.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Love.
That's a little mistake by Huang Yaqiong there, trying to push it again, and that's what Natsir is so good at, judging whether to push or block.
For love.
Well, yesterday we were talking about the Danes in the mixed doubles taking their foot off the pedal. Do you think that's been a similar case today, or do you think the Chinese in that second game raised their game?
I think they raised their game, but I also think that the Indonesians got a little bit overconfident.
Oh, that's a nice block. I like that. Oh, dear me.
Service over.
Yeah, what was I saying about those pushes to the mid-court area? You can't afford to make them loose so that Lu Kai can just step in on them.
I think one of the things that the Indonesians did well in the first game was to lift from a good position, so they could actually control the lifts and decide when to go into a defensive position with a good chance of turning it around, and I think that's really important to keep the court big. Of course, if you're able to get the attack right away from the service situation, please do that, but it might get crowded on the front court after all.
Service over. 2-5.
Oh, service fault called this time on Wang Yaqiong. First time she's been called a fault in this match by my calculation. You concur with me? Oh, well, we won't see from that. It was the server who was faulted, not the receiver.
Seven, 2.
That's brilliant.
Service over.
Right into the corner. Inch perfect.
3-7.
Yeah, my goodness. You couldn't have walked over there and placed it any better, could you?
Yes, quick. Indonesian. Quick down.
Well, just under 50 minutes of play.
3.
Umpire being generous and allowing the players time to tell down. Oh, good return.
Yeah.
Service over.
Set the whole tone of the rally, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, and the serve from this man here, Lu Kai, was not accurate enough, a bit too high over the net, and I think he's quite inconsistent in his services. Some are really, really good, and then there's some direct errors.
Service over. 4-8.
And some that doesn't have the quality needed at this level. Well played.
Service over. 9-4.
Well, can't help but think, Steen, that the Chinese pair need to close this deficit down before the change of ends. They need to be closer.
Yeah.
They need to be challenging.
I think so too.
10-4.
I would say like 7, there's still a little chance. 8 would be better.
Yeah. Yeah, that was well played by the Chinese combination.
Over. 5-10.
Oh.
Serves over.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there, whether she was trying to intercept or whether she was trying to get her racket out of the way. It doesn't really matter. The upshot is that the Indonesians have a 6-point advantage here in the third and deciding game as they change ends.
还是要拼发球质量啊。然后卢凯防守的精力你要跟上，就一个发球质量，然后一个防守。现在接发球基本上都能过了。
他杀不死的，他就要打你，就脚。
你这边这种架过来把对角啊，抽的时候啊，拿到了以后对角要出来啊。你现在都局限于他的反拍往前。 接发球啊，加油，打起来！
Sama Nyimasnya variasi sekali-sekali ke cowoknya tuh.
Well, it's quite a deficit that the Chinese pair need to start closing down, but that will certainly help their cause.
6-11.
Slight confusion between the two Indonesians. Both going for the same shot and then leaving a big gap.
Serves over.
He's returned nicely today, has Tontowi Ahmad.
Yeah. And I know the Danes, they used to talk about that if they don't flick him, he comes closer and closer and closer to the net, and it's almost impossible to serve to later in the match. So. Yeah.
It's that, you know, it's understated in a way, isn't it? But it's so perfect. She just takes the shuttle early and just guides it into the open space. Look at that.
And a little deception on it.
Yeah.
Serves over. 7-13.
Yeah, lift was short, got what it deserved.
14-7.
Looking a bit disheartened now, the Chinese pair.
Yeah.
Clapping their hands, but the body language doesn't really tell the same story. Oh, that's more like it.
Serves over. 8-15.
Oh my goodness, that was dangerous. Liliyana Natsir was looking round. Well, Tontowi, Ahmad taking it so late that, as I was saying, Liliyana Natsir turned round to look.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd made the mistake of that once. Ended up in hospital for 4 days, got the shuttle in the eye.
Thank you. 9-15. Oh, it's new. Please.
Well,
You just get that sense that this isn't over yet.
yeah, that was the 3 fairly easy points that they needed. They're still quite a bit behind, but it'd be foolish to rule it out.
Service over.
Dear me.
16-10.
That's a gift to the Indonesians, yeah. Well, once you've been called that fault. Well, Steve, you were saying earlier, you advocate just stick to your groove, because if you try and adjust your serve, that happens. Then you start making errors.
Yeah. I know I shouldn't be saying that, but that's the reality.
17-10.
That
That's clever. Very, very clever.
18-10.
3 points from victory now. How crucial was that service error? Just won a couple of points, Chinese pair. Like I said, this is far from over.
Service over. 11-18.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, we saw yesterday Michelle Lee came back from 12-19 down in the decider. So
And 2016.
yeah, so it's not
It's
not impossible.
No.
Service over.
Yeah. Punching the serve.
19-12.
Tontowi Ahmad.
It's difficult for these tall athletes to get out of the way, give themselves the freedom to play the shot.
He's been strong in the attack, I think, Tontowi Ahmad.
Yeah.
4 smashes to work his way to a position that is so good that he can
20,
kill it.
match point 12.
match point opportunities against the number 8 seeds.
Serves over. 13-20.
Please welcome the technical officials, court number 2. Court number 2, women's singles. Please welcome world number 6 and runner-up at the Yonex Chinese Taipei Open from China, Liliyana.
Oh, good clear. That's a good rally.
She's facing world number 5, quarterfinalist at the
Goodness.
Open from China.
Well, more indecision at the back of the court from Tontowi. Ahmad, surely he knows about the slight drift by now.
Thank you.
So 3 match points have come and gone.
15-20.
This time. And Tontowi, Ahmad and Liliyana Natsir safely through to the semi-final. Their 10th semi-final of the year in their 11th tournament. Talk about consistency.
Ahmad, Liliyana Natsir, 21-15, 18-21, 21-15.
An hour and 4 minutes. Beautiful angle. Final winning smash from Tontowi Ahmad. Now, consistency personified this year in the mixed doubles discipline.
Serves over. Serves over.
So our first two quarterfinals, both going the full distance. Men's singles up next with the two-time Olympic champion, Lin Dan. He's won this title 3 times as well against Victor Axelsen. My goodness, didn't he play well yesterday in beating last year's beaten finalist, Son Wan-ho. Then we've got Wang, former world champion in the women's singles and 5 previous finals here in Denmark against PV Sindhu, who of course has won 2 World Championship bronze medalists. And then we finish with Boa Mogensen, the home favourites in the men's doubles against Chai Biao and Hong Wei. So Lin Dan, the number 3 seed against Victor Axelsen, the number 6 seed from Denmark. Well, Victor Axelsen changed places with Jan Jorgensen after the 2 Super Series events, Japan and Korea, in September last month, because poor old Jan